3, 2, 1, and we're on. Hi everyone, my name is Terry, and I will be playing the GM in today's game, where we will explore what it means to play in the way of a hero. And with us today, we have Martin, Jody Lee, Steve, and Kim. So we'll just start with Martin and go around. If you could introduce yourself and your character.
Hey everyone, I'm Martin, and I'm playing Imago, who is a relatively new hero with nature-based powers that focus on insects. He's got some pretty impressive wings. He can shrink himself or others down and make things grow. He can fire wasp-like stings, energy stings, and he's got some really cool insect senses that he can use in the fight against evil.
All right, and then we'll go over to a fan favorite, and that is Basawan 1.
Hi, I'm Jody Lee. Basawan is a 9'2" giantess based on the Basque mythological character that lived in the Pyrenees and was a guardian of sheep and shepherds, and was a beneficent spirit who also showed the countryside peoples how to do things like agriculture and woodworking and such, and is apparently actually based on early experiences with Neanderthals meeting with early humans in the Pyrenees area. So she's a good person who likes to take care of people. Except her favorite thing that she likes to say when she gets frustrated, because she has a big stick that she carries, is Basawan smash. Solves a lot of problems.
Yes, it does. Next, let's go to Obscura.
Oh, okay. Hi, I'm Kim. I play Obscura, who is a matte darkness user. You know, she can like teleport through shadows, she can mold darkness to her will, also can punch a bitch. Doesn't do that very much. She's the recruiter for the Association of Heroic Affairs, somehow failed upwards, and is a 19-year-old high school dropout who doesn't understand why she is here, but is gonna keep going with it as long as they keep asking.
Awesome. And last but definitely not least, we have All Things.
My name is Steve, and I play the character All Things. He's called All Things because he's he transforms. He can transform into anything, provided that he has personal experience with it, has touched it, and that includes prehistoric animals as well. He takes on their characteristics and power and size and all kinds of things with that. He can also become somebody else as sort of a way to infiltrate bad people's places. He can, at cost to himself, he can actually brain drain somebody. He doesn't like to do that because he feels it's sort of a dark power, but he's done it a few times just to make sure that the heroes get through and get done what they need to do. He has a headquarters in the Superstition Mountains in Arizona, and that's actually pretty cool. A new power that he has is being able to do visual reconnaissance through plant root and fungus networks.
Awesome. All right. Well, we will begin our story for today then. So on a very casual day, a day like many of you have experienced today. The heroes find themselves just meandering about in their everyday life. Perhaps they're at P.F. Chang's having some lunch, or perhaps they're in a butterfly garden, or maybe walking around the trees smashing things with a giant staff. Who knows what they could be doing? Out of the blue, all of their Association of Heroic Affair watches begin to buzz on their arms, and a notification pops up. It says, SOS, you are needed. What will our heroes do? Will they respond?
Can we
If we didn't
text on
dis-
these?
Of course.
Can I respond like how needed?
You get a response and it says, immediately.
Al goes ahead and Al's in Arizona, so he goes ahead and in the cave, and he goes ahead and pops into the mini portal they gave him, and he's at AHA headquarters.
Yeah, Imago flutters off, bidding goodbye to his Lepidoptera friends, and heads over to
Ooh, good.
vocabulary lesson. Yes. And heads over to headquarters as fast as his wings can carry him.
Assawan learning to use microscope very carefully in science lab, but puts things down and goes to portal and comes to help.
Probably watching Obscura's location not change as she kind of
No. After she gets like the immediate text, she rolls her eyes, audibly groans, and then possibly beats everyone there because she just shadow travels to the other last one's already there, but just like teleports right outside headquarters because they have the weird no darkness on the inside bit.
Yes.
So
She also gets a following text message that says another single word, terror.
Oh, crap.
my nemesis, claiming it.
All of the heroes arrive in the waiting room. The lobby seems especially busy today, with people bustling around. Perhaps it's just because it's general business hours. You see some people in suits. You see heroes walking around in their costumes. Nobody's really running. Everybody's just walking around in a very busy kind of rush. And then you recognize a familiar face, and that is of a robot. He starts walking up to the four of you with a Mountain Dew Baja Blast in his hand. Hey, dudes.
So, buddy, do you know where we're supposed to go? We got the call.
Oh, hold on. Let me check my records. And he puts his fingers up to his forehead as if he's thinking for a second. You see his eyes flutter back and forth, almost like static. And then he says, oh yes, you are here to meet Kale dudes.
Okay, where
Who
was
is
Kale?
this?
Do you
Who
not
is
have
this?
it?
I mean, I'm really new. You guys have basically seen me every time I've been on AHA campus.
Oh, wow, you gotta go to a shitty cafe, dude. It's real bad. There's no coffee.
Oh man.
Please don't open the freezer, dude.
So, dude, where's Kale?
Oh, he's in room 115.
Can you show us where to go?
Of course.
All right.
And Havoc pulls off a skateboard off of his back, puts it on the ground, and just starts pedaling through the lobby. He's actually quite bad. Robots tend to not be very fluid on a skateboard. And several times it looked like he's going to fall off. But eventually he arrives at the door that he told you about. Here you go, dudes. and he reaches out with his Baja Blast, which is half now spilled all over the floor, to hand to Imago.
Thank you.
Come see me later, dudes.
All right, dude.
And then he hops back on his skateboard and starts to pedal away.
So, shall we? Al goes into room 115.
Definitely goes and Mimego follows inside, carefully sipping the Baja Blast.
Basawan looks around, ducks through doorway, looks
I guess
for a
it-
place big enough to sit.
I guess Obscura also goes inside because it feels weird just standing in this hallway.
As the heroes enter the room, it is very bright. There are no visible shadows anywhere. And that's something that you probably have noticed as you've come into this building multiple times. Maybe for our newer heroes, it's something that really dawns on you at this moment. All of the furniture is very basic. There are a number of white chairs that are seated around just a white table. Everything is lit up by this fluorescent appeal. At the end of the room stands a man with orange hair, 2 chains wrapped around his arm. They almost seem like they're alive and moving like snakes would. And at that moment, Obscura, can you make a mind roll?
It's like a -2, right? Obscura, not a smart person. Let me pull up the channel. 2d6 -2. 7. Not a failure, I think.
Obscura feels something prying at her mind. And Kel stares at her intently, his eyes narrowed.
Obscura just starts thinking of Call Me Maybe by Carly Jepsen. Just
He
blasting full volume.
He shakes his head and kind of withdraws from attempting to read her mind. He looks around and smiles and says, "Hello, thank you so much for coming. I hope it wasn't too much trouble."
No, it
All
was
these
fine.
lights, sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Are all these lights really necessary? I'm feeling the urge to like smack into the walls.
Unfortunately, they are. There are only 2 known darkness users right now that have sided with the heroes. The rest tend to be very villainous in nature. And so we have to make sure that we're protected. Have you heard what happened in Philadelphia? Giant crystal, darkness everywhere. It was quite an ordeal.
I did get some sense of that, yes. Huh.
Well, what's the emergency this time?
Well, the last time we had met, you were very interested in doing some more information gathering, surveillance, anything to do with, he pauses for a second, the terror.
Oh, Jesus.
I would assume that you would want to participate in this mission, yes?
Yes.
That's what you called us in for, sure.
I mean, I guess I don't have
Sure.
anything better to do.
Well, hopefully this time we can catch him. You know how he loves to run these different tests, right?
Right.
Well, we've learned about a new type of test that he's running. Not really what the test is about, just an advertisement that unfortunately has attracted over 100 people who were looking to make some quick cash. It was an ad on Craigslist, and it was something about for some of your time, you can make $5,000 in a day. So you can imagine how many people applied, and unfortunately, we're not quite sure what has happened now. We just know that there were a ton of missing persons reports, and so now we've been called in.
Define ton of reports.
So far, we have 36, and all of them have matched. Like the only common tie for them all have been that they've responded to this Craigslist ad, and were given an address to go to.
Same address?
Yes,
All in last week, last month.
on the last day.
Ah,
This is in New York City, by the way. And with a city so heavy in population, it's been quite an ordeal, as you can imagine. Unfortunately, I'm not very technologically savvy, so I can't tell you a lot about what's been done behind the scenes, but you are welcome to talk to someone who is better with computers. Fast one, I understand that you've been working in the lab. Perhaps you have some connections down there or someone that could help. But all I know is that we have this address, we have tons of missing people, and to me, it just says, okay, this is the terror at it again. But I may be totally wrong. Of course, the email address was iamtheterror@gmail.com. So
Can we get more creative?
You'd think that more people would worry about that, but I guess $5,000 in a day is awfully tempting.
Mm.
it is. Do you have any questions that I may be able to answer for you, or any way that I might be of assistance as you begin looking into this?
Is there like a particular, is it like all ages, all demographics, or is it like a particular age range?
It is, although we have found that most people who respond to this Craigslist ad, or Craigslist ads in general, are generally men in their early 30s.
Okay. That makes sense. I've never used Craigslist. I know it's weird. So men in early 30s predominantly, because that's just who uses Craigslist. Anyone else got questions?
I do, but we usually don't get a whole lot of intel, so I guess I could
Yes.
ask, is there anything besides the address and missing persons report? Is there anything else that links these people together?
Roll presence as you try to get more information from Cal.
Okay, hold on a second. Okay. 8.
You know, if it were me, I would probably just respond to the ad myself and go in as a participant. But that's just me. Other people have their own tactics.
Al, I want you to know you should expect more from your workplace. And the best way to expect more from your workplace is collective bargaining. Join my union, please.
All right, well, perhaps we should go down to the basement and talk to the science guys and gals, and see what they have to say.
Pass them on. You got connections?
not sure what talking will do.
Just trying to get a better idea of what's going on out there, that's all.
We can talk and then just decide to send an email in. Actually, wait, do we already have the address? Why do we need to send an email?
I don't know. There may be technological things behind the scenes. You may want to go talk with some family members of people who have been missing. It's hard to say where you'd like to begin your investigation.
Do
If
you have,
missing one day, not much information available. Duh.
that's the one you told a joke. Cool. All right. So try to get more information or just go ahead and go to this address. What do you think?
Basawan want to go to address. Not sure how scientist could help.
Imago?
I'm certainly happy to infiltrate. Do we need? I mean, getting more information would be helpful, but there's, again, as you point out, lots of ways to get that information.
Well, so do we want to all like, do we want some of us to sneak in? Those of us who can make ourselves look like smaller, such as All Things and Imago, and then some of us just like enter as participants?
That seems like it would work to me. Do we have any? Can All Things, can you pick up any details from your connections?
No, if there's any plants inside the building, they're house plants and then they're not connected up to the root network. So I can't see anything.
The other thing that you should know is that we've temporarily taken the ad down. It's not searchable because, of course, we don't want more people to just disappear. And that's as of, he looks at a clock 2 hours ago.
Right.
That may mean that the any surprise with us going there may be gone by now because they probably figured it out.
Or put up a separate ad.
Or we could just send an email like, saw this ad earlier, saw you took it down. Are you still available? Really could use the cash.
Okay, so do you want us to get real small and infiltrate while you two go in and register, or do you want to just all go register, or what would you like to do?
I just threw out the like, do you just want people to get small and infiltrate, and that way, like, if something awful happens to the rest of us, we're not all like shot on sight or something. I don't fucking know what the terrorist's gonna do.
Obscura has good idea.
Okay.
Well,
Basawan, do you have an email?
Basawan have email. Basawan learning to use computer.
Yay.
Basawan learn how to use television. Basawan learn how to how you say stream video. Basawan watch Harry Potter. Basawan enamored of big person.
Oh, Hagrid.
Hagrid?
Yep.
Hagrid, handsome.
Basawan, what are your feelings on watching The Real Housewives?
Basawan not see Real Housewife. Not sure what Real Housewife is and how to tell from false housewife.
The drama, predominantly. We should do a Basawan Obscura Real Housewives of wherever you want.
That'd be interesting, Obscura.
Look, I'm just imagining there's a woman who one time throws her her prosthetic leg at another woman and goes, you want to see what's fake? And then throws a leg at her. It's very fun. We should watch this show.
Basawan, no woman with fake leg.
Basawan could make a woman with a fake leg.
That would be easy for Basawan, yes.
All things could make a woman make himself into a woman with a fake leg if he
I
wanted
mean,
to.
one of my arms is plastic. It's still not clear.
Anyway, Basawan like Hagrid. Basawan have dreams tonight.
Oh my God.
Oh my god. Okay. We should send the emails. So I'm gonna send an email. Should we make up fake names? My actual email has my name in it, so I don't know if that'll work.
So if you're going to send emails, give me who your email is from and what your email contents say.
Okay, so Obscura sends an email from her like first email address she ever used, and it's sarahsmiles@gmail.com. Which is definitely a Panic at the Disco reference. And then it just says, saw the ad. Are you still looking for people? I would love to make 5K. Need some cash right now. Sarah.
Okay. You hear a whoosh, and your email goes off into digital space.
Basawan send email from Basawan@gmail. Basawan not clever for names. And says interested in position. Give details, please. And sends.
Whoosh. The email goes off into digital space.
So while they're waiting for the replies, Amigo, should we head down and shrink up and go inside and see what we can see?
I think so. Do you think we should stick together to better handle whatever might come at us, or should we split up and try to take it from different points of entry?
I say let's play it by ear, but start out together, and if seems to make sense to split up when we're inside, do that way.
Sounds like a plan.
Before you leave, Kel gives you an address written on a piece of paper. That is the supposed address of where all of these people disappeared to. All right, so you're all traveling to New York City? Okay.
Absolutely.
I imagine you just take a teleporter in the Association of Heroic Affairs. It links the offices. There's a field office in New York City that you're able to get through. Has anybody eaten anything in the last couple of hours?
What time is it?
Basawan ate salad.
It is 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah, Obscura
Yes.
probably had lunch at like noon.
Yep.
No, Obscura's nocturnal. Never mind. She probably just woke up like an hour ago.
Does a Baja Blast count?
Yes, it does. Anything in your stomach.
Yes.
All right. So Basawan with your salad and Imago with your Baja Blast. Can you roll conviction to see how your stomach handles taking food through?
Oh yeah, the portal thing.
Guess this is the one benefit of being nocturnal.
Basawan emerges almost as if absolutely nothing was wrong. Imago comes out of the teleporter. He looks like he's about to just barf all over the place. And then you see a couple of big gulps, and he seems to keep things down. But looks a little uneasy and clammy. Like something might be wrong.
That was unpleasant. Ugh.
As you arrive in the city, 2 emails respond to both Basawan and Obscura. Basawan, you receive a response and it says, "We love heroes and will actually offer you a premium for your attendance. Please meet us at," and then there's an address.
Same address.
Roll mind.
I'm sorry.
Can you do a mind roll?
Oh. Um, oops.
It is absolutely 100% the same address, no questions asked.
That's the worst roll I've ever had.
Obscura, you get a response that says, "Thank you so much for your application. We are currently not accepting any new participants in the program."
Rude. I guess I'm scared to pause. Fine, fuck you. And then since that,
Whoosh. The email goes off into cyberspace. Who is navigating through the city?
I guess myself and Imago are navigating through the city.
Okay, so Basawan and Obscura are just kind of following as they take you to this address.
Yes, I guess so. Yeah.
Okay.
And we are going to Basawan's address, right?
Basawan says that it's the same address that's on the paper that everybody received.
Okay.
dope. I guess I'll just have to go like ethereal too. I'll figure it out. Don't worry about it. Because I did not get accepted to this job, and it definitely doesn't hurt my feelings a little bit. Even though I know it's a trap.
So you follow the directions, you make it to this giant building. The building is made out of red brick. All of the windows seem to have like boards over them. It looks very shady. And I would have to think that a good amount of people saw the building and would turn and walk away, because who would go into an abandoned looking building like this?
36 people must have.
Look, 5K is 5K. Sometimes you don't ask questions.
Okay,
Alright.
well, go ahead, Imago.
Well, time to shrink down is all I was going to say.
Okay.
All right, roll conviction as you shrink down.
Wow.
Imago shrinks down with no problem. All things, are you trying to turn into something as you shrink? Or
A cockroach.
all
A
right,
New York
Uh,
cockroach.
you turn into a very big cockroach, but you're still a cockroach.
How big?
Like upsettingly big?
Like the size of a cell phone.
Oh, upsettingly big.
No, that's a New York cockroach. We're all good. All
How
right.
how does Obscura feel about cockroaches?
No. Also, we all know bugs and Obscura don't get along. That's a canon fact. But no, that's Al. So it's
Right.
fine.
Roll conviction as you try to not jump on something to get away from this giant cockroach that's now skittering around your feet.
Oh God. That's my conviction. Nothing. I got none. 4.
You like climb up some stairs and you are looking and you are afraid to go on the ground. You know that it's all things, but it's still really disgusting, and you can actually like see its wings and the texture of its skin, and there's just something that's really revolting deep within yourself.
All things can climb in my pouch.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I'll just take my shadow figure form and maybe things will be better. So Obscura's gonna do her new power, shadow figure, and become incorporeal.
So over the course of the next minute or so, you start to see Obscura looking ghostly. And then it's almost like she looks like a shadow on the wall. And you're not sure if it's truly Obscura or is it just a shadow of something being cast over there.
Yes, I'll just hide like this.
Are you still there? Obscura?
Yeah? Yeah?
Wow, that's a cool new power.
I know, right? It's pretty dope. I can
You're
play the
two-
shadow in Peter Pan. Real easy.
You're two-dimensional.
I mean, I feel like I'm probably still three-dimensional. It's just the third dimension is not one you guys can see. I feel like I'm probably like part in the shadow realm. I don't know how this works, but it seems really cool. So I'm gonna go with it.
Yes.
That's how like 90% of my powers go. I don't know how they fully work or understand them, but you just go with it.
All right.
I'm suddenly imagining that all things is a hissing cockroach and
Oh,
is so his voice
No,
down.
no. I'm a New York cockroach. New York cockroaches have
a
wings.
New York cockroach.
New York cockroach. Bring it, buddy.
From New York, I'm a cockroach.
Live through anything.
Literally. All right. So you're in front of this building. Obscura is like a shadow. Imago is small. We've got a cockroach. This 9 foot tall woman is standing there with a giant stick about to smash something, it looks like.
No, Basawan, waiting to see. Want to walk in if everyone ready.
Go.
Yeah.
Basawan
Okay.
opens door and walks in.
So as Basawan attempts to open the door, you look down and it's chained shut.
That not right. Basawan yank door.
All right. Your passive strength is enough where the door just comes off of the hinges. And you're now holding the door by the door handle.
Basawan move door out of way, walk in, replace door after everyone walk behind her.
Okay. So you're now
Obscura-
inside of this. Go ahead.
I was gonna say Obscura's trying to like stand in Basawan's shadow.
Easily done. 9 foot tall shadow. Easily concealed. As you come into this building, there are no lights. It's very dark. You can only see a few beams of light from between boards off of windows. The ground is filthy, dirty. There's papers. It looks like at one point some homeless people might have been living in here. Broken glass and rocks are scattered all across the floor.
So being cockroach-like, all things skitters over to the side wall and follows the wall around, looking for additional pathways to additional rooms.
While Imago flutters up near the ceiling and tries to use his antenna senses to detect any trails or see an ultraviolet or whatever.
Obscura whispers to Basawan, "Are you sure this was the right address? Is
Yes,
this like a northeast versus northwest kind of thing? That is you a lot in Seattle."
Basawan want to touch walls and doors to sense physical nature of buildings, see if there are hidden doors, hidden rooms.
Okay, so let's have all things roll quick as he's scurrying around the ground, traveling through these different rooms. Imago, go ahead and roll soul, I guess. Yeah, that would make sense. And then Basawan, it will be your brute. And Obscura, are you just following around in the shadow?
Yeah. Just kind of enjoying the darkness after being in a room that's just like no shadow whatsoever. You know?
Yeah, there are tons of shadows here. So all things, as you scurry around, you find that this building is vacant, and there is so much like cobwebs and things that you can't imagine that anybody has been here anytime recently. Imago, you sense that there are no powers at bay anywhere in the immediate area, and it's almost like this place has been abandoned for a very long time. Basawan, with your roll, you touch the wall and you're like, okay, this is a regular building. You feel connected to the earth and to the rocks, and you have the ability to kind of check and see, like, is there maybe a secret layer, hidden compartments, anything like that? You're like, no, this is just an average building. As you walk outside, you look up, and the number that's on the wall doesn't look like the number that you saw in your email.
Basawan in wrong building?
So you're looking at the email again?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead and roll conviction.
Can Obscura look over Basawan's not look over Basawan's shoulder, like look like a small child, kind of like on her tippy toes, trying to peek at Basawan's phone.
Yeah, go ahead and roll conviction too. As Basilwan looks at the email, she's like, yeah, this is the right address.
Mm.
Obscura, as you look at it, you sense a sensation very similar to something that's happened to you recently. And in your mind, loud music begins playing.
What the fuck? What? What? Is no one else hearing like loud music? Is it just me?
All things nods his little insect head back and forth. No.
I don't like that. Not all things. I'm gonna be real.
Roll quick, all things.
Finally, good.
You realize that one of your antennas was about to go into the shadow, but you realized and kind of picked up on the fact that Obscura would probably scream, and were able to give her a little distance.
I think there's something like this tracks. Terry's an asshole with mental powers.
Mm.
I think there's something off about the email. Like I can't, like I look at it and I just hear loud music that sounds like it came out of like a really shitty horror movie, which also tracks for the terror.
Okay.
Is it getting louder if you go in any particular direction?
And I think it's just looking at the email, right? Like trying to read it.
As you step away from looking at the phone with the email, the sound seems to fade away.
Yeah, if I'm not trying to look at the phone, I don't hear it. And I feel like this is a mental thing because I literally did this to Kale like an hour ago, where he was trying to read my mind. So I just started really loudly thinking about Carly Rae Jepsen's runaway hit, Call Me Maybe.
All things are Imago. Are you looking at the email as well?
I'm not. They're holding it up. They're holding it up above
Oh,
me.
yeah. Don't you have wings? Can't you? No, I don't want to know.
Yes, I have wings. Do you really want me to?
No. No, thank you.
Okay.
Well, maybe I close my eyes and then you can fly, and then someone tells me when you're done flying, and I'll open my eyes again.
Okay. So I will spread the elytra and fly up and land on Bessawan's shoulder to look at the phone.
All right, go
And-
ahead and roll conviction. Are
And
you
I'll drop down and do the same thing on her opposite shoulder.
Obscura is looking at her phone.
how many eyes do cockroaches have?
2 compounds.
And a compound's like 20 eyes or something crazy.
No, more like hundreds.
So as you both look at the phone, you see like the letters and the numbers of this address, and they kind of go back and forth in like a haze, like there's a hidden message. And then you find that there's a completely different address there. Almost like subliminal messaging.
Okay. Let's see.
It's close. It's about 5 blocks away.
Antenna senses activated. I think we're at the wrong spot. We turned left at Albuquerque.
Is that a
Left.
street in
Left.
New York?
Okay.
I mean,
So-
to be fair, you did say that basawan@gmail.com. So of course they're gonna give you a fake address, right? Maybe. Who knows?
Well, they didn't take Sarah Smiles at all.
All
Okay.
right. So Basawan carries Imago and all things and walks to other address.
You make it to this other address, which looks like a fairly nice Hilton.
Hilton, okay. Basawan walk in.
Are we gonna
Okay.
get a timeshare spiel?
As you walk in, someone at the front desk greets you. Good afternoon. Do you have a reservation? How can I help you today?
Basawan have appointment.
Oh, lovely. An appointment. Who is your appointment with?
Basawan show email.
Oh, of course, of course. That's in hold on, give me 1 second. And she flutters through some different paperwork. That was a big thing earlier today. We haven't really seen anyone for the last couple of hours. Oh, that's an auditorium 2. The James
It's a
room.
timeshare spiel.
And she points down the hallway.
Thank you.
Of course, of course. Have a wonderful day.
Where ladies' room?
Oh, it's right over there. And she points to the other side of the lobby.
Do we go to the James room?
Basawan go to ladies' room first, unpack all creatures, all things and Imago to send them off as they will. Check with Obscura, make sure everything okay. Then go to James' room.
Okay, sounds good. Good plan. Good plan.
So All Things starts skittering around on the floor looking for a grill to the air conditioning, and finds one, plops in, and starts looking for the James room.
Okay, go ahead and roll mind. As you enter into this vent and you're traveling around, you hear a couple of fans going on, but you're able to steer clear of them pretty well. There's also this very sweet scent in the air, at least for you as a cockroach.
Well, I know what that is, so I'm going to avoid that.
And as you continue to travel through the vents, you find what you would imagine is the James room. You're now looking down into the room from up above.
Okay. So I'm going to park myself there at the vent and just observe, see what we can see.
All right. And what is everyone else doing?
I think I'm going to kind of dart from hiding spot to hiding spot. Chandeliers, etc., to keep out of sight and make my way to the James room that way.
Okay. You are standing outside of the James room. There's like a little sign in the front that says, "Welcome people who want to make $5,000 in one day."
Obscura's just gonna stay in the 9-foot tall lady shadow.
Okay.
That's a one walk-in room.
And
All right.
I'll follow behind.
So as you all are going into the room, you just notice one big crystal in the center of the room.
Where does the Terror get all these crystals?
Probably as a crystal guy.
This
Brazil.
crystal is bright red, and it looks like almost like a lava lamp. How there's like substance floating around in it that is just pure black.
Is there anyone in the room?
The room is completely empty.
Maybe don't touch this with your crystal arm, Obscura.
No, I was just thinking I should definitely touch that crystal. That's always gone well for me. He's never led to any problems whatsoever. But you're probably right. What if I touch it with my non-crystal arm?
Is that what you're doing?
No.
What if Basawan smash?
What if that like hurts all the 36 people inside?
The 36 known missing people.
Just suggestion.
So All Things sees that there's nobody else in the room except his colleagues. So he squeezes through the vent and skitters down to the floor and changes back to his human form.
Oh, thank God.
Obscura takes a giant sigh of relief.
Stickering as he comes up to everybody else.
I have cockroaches at my apartment at home, All Things. I don't need them in my life. Also, could I use my psychic soul bond ability to try to sense if there are people in the crystal?
Sure. Roll soul.
Okay. So I got my 3 good friends, you know, that I'm bonded with. And then, so that's a +7. Yes, that's right. Yeah, I think, okay. I was just making sure I'd actually done them because I had some adjustments to my soul. So I was making sure I did it correctly. Well, that's a good +7 because otherwise that would have been a very bad roll.
There are definitely souls inside of this crystal.
Yeah, there are defo people in that crystal, you guys.
But it's okay. They're making $5,000 one day.
Yeah.
That's fair. Can't judge them for that.
So it's a red crystal, but the inside is sort of liquidy, and you have these dark things floating around that we think might be people. Yes?
They don't pay me to think, so I don't know.
Terry?
You described it correctly.
Okay.
I can't tell you what the black things are though.
All right. Well, might be. So never mind. Okay.
Can everyone roll a mind roll?
Oh, wow.
Oh, geez.
How did Obscura tie for highest? I have a -2.
What's your favorite food?
Obscurus?
Yeah.
Oh God, I don't know. Taco Bell, Crunchwrap.
Imago?
You know what? Probably some something with honey. Like really fresh, extra sweet farm honey.
Okay. So you just have this mental picture of like that food and you just have this sudden craving for it. All things Bassawan, what are your favorite foods?
Good seafood. Bassawan light fish, shrimp, crab.
Right now for all things it's game. So deer, quail, etc.
I think we're all relieved that this craving didn't occur to all things while he was still a cockroach.
Oh gosh. So Bassawan and all things, as you think of these foods that are just so delicious and you crave them, it's almost like something is enticing you to touch this crystal and have your fill.
Here we go again.
Yeah, exactly. All things sighs and says, "Oh boy, this is the same as it was last time."
Oh, is Bassawan gonna touch it?
Stand in empty room? Yeah, that's not useful. Bassawan, woman of action.
All right. Bassawan touches the crystal, and as you can all probably imagine, she's gone.
All things thinks the same thing. He resisted the crystal so long last time that it probably did some harm. So he's just gonna walk up and touch the crystal.
All things touches the crystal, and just like that, he's gone.
Okay, so that's a thing that happened.
Do we also give in to the bad impulse?
Are you asking or are you
I'm
suggesting?
asking, I'm saying that out loud. And Mongo, you know, you're new. We want to see what you're how you think, what you do. You know, you're a member of the union, so I respect you.
Well, my thought was we could try using my bioelectric energy sting and your shadow powers to do something to the crystal, but with our friends and presumably innocent people inside, that runs the same risk as smashing things.
Fair. Fair.
I don't like risking innocence or our friends. So last time giving in to it and touching it didn't help that much, and you had to save us, but hopefully you can save us if that happens without losing any more.
I only
body
have one arm left. And I don't think Al has any of that like magical miracle putty, whatever he used for my hand. So, and also I don't know how like the reaction of the fact that one of my arms is just a big crystal chunk will have. But also, if you say we should do this, I don't have enough impulse control to say that that's a bad idea. Lizzie's 90% of my impulse control, and she's back in Seattle. So,
All right. Let's try and do this, but try and get information from it if we can. We both try to use our powers, open our senses, see if we can kind of figure out the way in as we're touching it, figure out what's going on, and maybe find ways to backtrace our steps, so to speak, once we're inside.
So you're both touching it?
Obscura looks like she's going to and then backs off.
Amargo
What?
touches it and disappears.
Yes.
Okay, Obscura feels bad and then just like, okay, whatever, and touches it.
As Obscura tries to touch it, her hand goes around the crystal.
Oh yeah, I can't interact with actual objects. I'm a literal shadow. Obscura reforms and then touches the crystal.
All right. So all four of you find yourselves in concrete rooms. In this room, there is a sink, a toilet, 2 beds, and a giant square in the center of the room. The square is cut out of the bottom floor and the ceiling of the room. And if you look up or look down, you can almost see people walking around up there. And it's like there are multiple levels. If you'd like to do some further investigation of the room, you can either roll quick for a quick look around the room or mind to kind of like analyze it and take it all in.
Rolling quick.
Square is empty space or square is clear material?
It is empty space. It's almost like there are rooms stacked on top of each other with a square cut out in the center that goes up and down.
So it's like a hole, I could go through it?
Yeah, you could 100% go through it.
Okay.
So all things across the room from you, you notice that there is on the wall a number, and that number is 46, and that's just giant and written on the wall. There's also someone sleeping in the bed across the room from you that is a female who looks like she's in her late 30s, early 40s.
Oh,
I hear a kitty.
yes. Being vocal.
Obscura, you were the last one to go in. Your room has number 40 on it. And in your room, you have a very muscular man who's probably in his 20s.
Okay, cool. He can boost. Then I can leave him in the dust.
How
Very
high
heroic
is
behavior.
ceiling?
The ceiling's about 15 foot tall.
And that was me using quick.
All
as
right.
well.
Amago, your room is 76. And you have a child who's in their early teens. And
And
then,
all of these people are asleep, or
yes,
is just the first, just
Yep.
all things, right?
all of them are asleep. And in Basawan's room, your number is 11.
I gotta wonder at the Terror's design thing. You think if you could make miniature worlds inside crystals, that they wouldn't all be concrete and bunkers and things like that. Yeah,
But
like,
that would require him being creative.
I was kind of hoping for a haunted house this time.
I was kind of hoping for like a weird carnival.
Hmm. Of
So.
course, we're not actually saying this because we're in separate rooms, but
Mhm. But we're all thinking the same thing.
So is edge of hole just smooth? So Bassawan could sit on edge, hold on and go down to next level?
You could potentially, yes.
Okay. Bassawan inspect door first.
Where's the tool?
You mean the hold down?
No, door.
No doors.
Hole on top and hole on bottom, right?
Yep.
How Bassawan get in room if no door?
Magic?
Crystal teleportation.
Bassawan walk around room and touch wall.
It feels like a very thick concrete wall. Do you want to roll brute
Yes,
to use your sensing power?
yes.
Oh, you forgot the exclamation mark at the beginning.
Ah, I see what happened.
As you touch the wall, you realize that it is brick and it goes on limitlessly in the direction that you're touching.
So it's thick?
It is beyond thick. It is infinity. It is just brick after brick after brick after brick for as far as your senses can sense. If you were to punch the wall, you would break bricks, but you would never make it through to the other side.
That weird. Terrible waste of bricks.
Terry, do I get the sense that is this like with the first simulation we did where the darkness wasn't real, so I couldn't really use it? Or does this feel like this darkness is real? Like all the shadows, any shadow?
Roll soul.
I act like I'm not good at that, which is fun because I am. It's by far. I'm assuming because I'm not close to my friends, I don't get like the special bonus.
What room were you in?
40?
I think somebody's in 46. So you could, yeah.
Fun.
I'm in 46.
Didn't need it, but I'll take it.
You sense that yes, this is some type of alternate reality, but you do have control of darkness powers.
Cool. I'll take it.
Bassawan, look over edge. Look up. No.
So you do see, can you hear me?
session now.
Nope, nope, too
Okay,
late,
I'm back.
too late.
Exactly.
All right, so you're looking up. As you look up, you see just room after room after room. You probably can see like 4 or 5 rooms up, 4 or 5 rooms down as well.
Okay.
And there are people in all of these rooms.
Basawan in room 11.
Yes.
Basawan, holler to people in room below. What number your room?
They holler back, 12.
So 40 and 46, nowhere near me.
A green light comes on the wall, and there's a loud buzz. Bzzz. Are you still sitting in the center?
Nobody sit center hole.
Yeah, but you were like looking down. You could be sitting on the edge, kind of like hollering down to them. Or are you away from the hole?
No, near edge.
Okay. There's a man who seems to be like he's in his late 50s, and he's sitting on the bed across from the room from you. And it's almost like you didn't see him before. He says, "You seriously need to get away from the center of the hole. Seriously."
Tell me more.
I believe in an exchange of knowledge. Seriously. If you want information, you give me information. Seriously.
What you want? Seriously.
Oh, seriously? You're going to use seriously?
You want help or not?
Yes, seriously.
What you want?
I want out of here.
I cannot exchange that information. Do not have.
Well, you've been very fortunate.
Explain.
Well, you're in room 11.
Oh.
That not convey any information to Basawan.
Are you new here?
I've been here maybe 10 minutes.
Oh, geez. Yeah, then you don't know how this works yet. I've been here for at least 3 months. You notice that this man is kind of portly, but not in a sense of like, it looks like he's really had his fill lately, but it's not his regular build, if you know what I mean. Does that make sense?
So recent weight gain.
Yes, a recent weight gain. He says, well, I was in room 2, seriously, and I had my fill, and now I'm in room 11, seriously, and it's almost as good as 2.
2 was better than 11.
The food in 2 is obviously better than 11.
Why you now in 11?
I don't know. Every month it changes. And at that moment, a giant slab slowly starts to descend from the ceiling. And on this slab is just food of every variety. And it's just filled with food. It looks like a buffet where like maybe people have really scoured through it all, eating handfuls of different types of things. You noticed fingerprints, and everything is spilled and kind of in disarray. Roll mind or quick as you look at the table. the food that you were craving so much, you see it right there on a platter, and it looks like it was designed by an expert chef. It looks so delicious.
Basawan look at food. Basawan smell food.
Oh, it smells so amazing. Oh, and as you lick it, it just is delectable. It is the best that you've ever had.
Basawan eat one bite.
It is exquisite and it tastes delicious. After about 30 seconds, the platform starts to descend. And the man across the room says, "Seriously, are you going down? Seriously?"
Platform goes to room below.
Of course, it goes to 12.
How many rooms below us?
Oh, I don't think anybody knows. You know, I was in room 153 for an entire month. As he says this to you, he throws the remainder of the food that he has back onto the platform, and then he starts to stand up. If you don't hurry back up here, you're going to go down. And who would want to go down?
Unclear what up here and down.
Well, you're in platform 11. If you go down, you're going to be on 12.
Food going down. Wait,
Are you on the platform or are you off the platform?
Basawan not clear what.
So in the center where there's that cutout of the square, a platform came through the ceiling and it's got a buffet on it.
Platform is in square in center.
Yes. Yep.
Oh.
And so you are enjoying some delectable food from the center of the platform, some of that food that you envisioned was your favorite. And the platform's starting to go down. Are you going down with the platform or are you getting
No.
off?
Getting off.
Okay. Are you taking any food with you?
Some fruit.
All right. You take the fruit with you. After about 20 minutes, it makes it to platform 40. Who's in platform 40? All right, Obscura. By this point, the buffet itself is in wide disarray and things are spilled, and it's not really food as much as just a combination of mush.
Well, that looks appetizing. Is the guy who's my roommate awake?
He turns and he runs over and he just starts shoveling food in his face. And you notice that he looks very, very skinny.
Okay. Okay. Obscura just sits. Doesn't
Well,
go for the food.
Aren't you going to eat anything?
Where does it come from?
He points up. It comes from up there.
Does it go up or does it just go down?
It comes up at the end, but not in the way you'd probably expect. And he's just like shoveling food in his mouth.
How often does it come by?
Once a day.
Okay, I can wait.
All right. He continues shoveling food into his mouth until
Yeah, Obscura's just sitting on the bed. She goes, "How long have you been in this room?
in this room. I just got here today.
Where did you come from before?"
Room 173.
Okay. How many rooms? Is that the lowest room you've ever been in?
Personally, yes. I don't know how people could survive in lower ones.
Okay. Okay.
It starts
What do
to descend.
Hmm. I want to go find my friends. I'm gonna hop on.
All right. Basawan, up in your room, it's starting to get really warm. Almost as if it's like a very sunny day in the middle of an Arizona desert.
Basawan not uncomfortable.
The gentleman across the room from you says, "Seriously? You're going to kill me?" And you notice giant pearls of liquid start to fall down his face.
It get hot like this before.
No, seriously? When you take food off of the thing and you don't eat it, eventually they kill you, either by freezing cold or freezing heat,
Freezing heat.
or burning heat. He corrects himself.
Ah, Basawan eat fruit.
Okay. As you eat the fruit and it disappears, the temperature starts to go back to normal. Meanwhile, Obscura, as you go down into the next room, people run towards the thing and just starts eating it. You notice a big difference between people who are incredibly skinny, people who look like they've eaten a lot.
I guess I asked them too what room numbers they've been in. Like, what's the lowest and what's the highest?
You hear from three is the highest. 143 is the lowest.
Okay.
And these people just throw their food in their mouth. Some of them look really beaten up too. You start to slide into room 140 or 46, which I
Ooh.
think is where all things is, right?
Yes. Dude.
Ow! I hitched a ride.
Cool.
I was told it also goes up, but not in the way I would expect. So I don't know what that means. But I thought I would test it because what's the worst thing that could happen to me?
Okay.
I mean, I guess I could die, but like, where's the fun in that? That's not really.
We're still funny. So is the lady awake in number 46? She's doing the same thing.
Yeah, she runs over to the platform as it starts to come down, and she's just shoveling this food in her mouth like she has not had food in a long time.
What's your number, lady? Lowest.
She looks at Obscura, doesn't respond, and continues shoveling food. If you'd like to persuade her to talk to you, you can roll a presence.
I'll roll presence, what we all know. It's, again, not Obscura skill set. Not the most charismatic girl in the world. They got a 6.
She says, "Stay away from my food. That's mine." And she jumps towards you.
Like, do I think she's gonna attack me?
She is probably going to attack you.
Okay. God, I don't want to. Obscura's gonna look at Elle, make a face, and then reach out and like just like grab this woman's chin and use Kiss by the Dark, but like try to hold back a little bit.
Okay, go ahead and roll for it.
What do I roll for that?
Quick.
Quick to attack. Okay. Eight.
This woman looked pretty beat up to begin with. Describe what your Kiss from the Dark looks like.
I mean, I think it's like, oh gosh, There's the, have you guys ever seen the Vampire Diaries? When they turn into vampires, they're like, they get like these like veins of like black that just like kind of cover their face. And so I think it kind of looks like that. Like Obscura touches the face, and then like her like blood blade just like turn black, and like kind of start to drain color. But Obscura is trying to like hold back, like not just trying to scare the person, not so much. And then it stuns the target.
Okay. She looks very stunned and just falls over to the side. She's still on the platform.
I like
Just laying in food.
kind of just like roll her over off
Okay.
the platform.
Do you care if like food is getting off the platform with her?
I don't know that's a thing.
Okay. As you roll her over, some of the dishes just knock onto the side. The platform starts to descend again.
So
Do-
all things goes ahead and gets on the platform, thinking that two together is better than staying up
We're
here.
gonna kill this poor woman.
He tries to clear up some of the dishes and put them back on the platform because it's clear to him what's happening. And he takes a couple handfuls of food and just eats them down and clears a space for himself and sits down.
Okay.
So all things saves the woman that Obscura almost killed. Okay, good to know.
So after several hours, people continuously run up and they're grabbing food off of this platform, shoveling it into their mouths. By about floor 75, all of the food has pretty much disappeared from the platform.
Oh no.
And so when you reach 76, you start to see people who look very dismayed, and they look up at you and they just look completely disappointed. They're scavenging through it. Some of them are, and they're looking all over for any crumbs. If they find like a grape, they go ecstatic and just start throwing it in their mouths. It continues to descend.
Wait, don't we have somebody at 76?
I think that's me.
Oh Mongo, you're in the no food zone.
With a child.
Oh yeah, he is.
Apparently, let's see here. I'm gonna try to, if I find any crumbs and stuff, seeing this happening, I'll try to use my size doesn't matter power to expand it, make it grow into something.
Okay. Go ahead and roll a conviction.
Only 7.
It's, you find some crumbs, they start to get bigger. It turns into the size of like a hamburger.
At least somebody will eat a little bit better. I say as I hop on with my companions.
The child across the room from you looks very sad, and they start to crawl a little bit towards the crumb that you made.
Oh yeah, no, I definitely hand it.
They take it and then just start shoveling it in their mouth.
Do you want to come with us?
Me? They say and point at themselves.
Yeah, we're trying to figure out what's going on and help all of you.
But
Maybe it's
I want to go up, not down.
also, we don't know what happens when we get all the way to the bottom. I was told it goes up, but not no way you Bye.
Depending on what happens, we may be able to
But
catch
also,
them
if we
on the
fix things, then it won't be that big of a deal.
truth. Okay.
So is the child coming with or no?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
Like
They
I
wave.
said, we're going up. I don't know what method that is it. I'm just curious where that this will just kill them all. So doesn't really want to experiment with the child.
The child waves goodbye. As the platform starts to descend again, it continues going. You see more and more disappointment on people's faces. Meanwhile, Basawan, you're up in platform comfortable number 11. Do you want to do anything while you're up there?
Vassalon curious about going up levels. If ceiling is 15 feet, Vassalon could jump and pull up a level. But first wanted to see what happens when platform comes back up.
Okay. If you want to climb up, you can. Do you want to go all the way to the top, or do you want to wait and see what happens before you do anything?
If it's taking a long time to go down, that's the one start going up.
Okay. Yeah, it's going to take, hours. It stops at every floor for
Mhm.
about 2 minutes.
Sure.
And it's probably about floor 125 right now. And Basawan very easily climbs up to floor number 10. You're greeted by people there who say, "Aren't we lucky to be on lucky floor number 10?"
Tell me more about what you know about this place.
Well, every month you wake up on a new floor. If you're lucky, you're in a high number. If you're not so lucky, you get put in a low number.
So no, nothing you have done helps predict next month's number.
No, it seems to be just entirely random.
So 36 people we know of disappeared yesterday. People here say they've been here for months. Do we believe that?
Roll presence.
Great.
As you say that out loud, the people on floor 10 kind of like roll their eyes. I don't know what you're talking about. 36 people. There's more than 36 people here, that's for sure. I heard about someone who was on floor 197. And if 2 people per floor, that's at least what? I don't know. I'm not good at math, but almost 400 people.
Thank you for information. Basawan, go up another level.
Okay. You're graded there by another pair of people.
Basawan asked same questions.
All right. Go ahead and roll another presence.
Basawan really has bad dice today.
They both have a lot of tattoos all over their bodies, and they tell you to mind your own business. And then they ask you if you want to fight.
Basawan, go up another level.
All right, go ahead and roll again. This puts you on 9.
I think so.
All right, so when you make it to this next level, there is someone in the early 20s and they say, I responded to, I was solicited. Someone asked me if I wanted a free college degree. I just had to agree to come in here for a day.
Free college degree.
Yeah, they said that this was some type of study and that they could arrange for me to have a degree.
That worth paper it printed on.
It was going to be from Harvard. I don't know. I
Not
just
worth
believed
paper
them.
it printed on.
The other person in the room tells you that it was just a series of unfortunate coincidences, and they may have accidentally dropped a TV out of a 20-story building. It fell to the ground and actually accidentally killed somebody. They were told that if they participated in this, that they wouldn't have to go to jail and that it would just all disappear.
Interesting recruitment methods. Basawan now on level 8, Basawan go up a level.
So you start to hear these stories of like how people were offered a really good wish or something that they really wanted in order for a day of their time. And it seems like some of these people were really, really in desperate situations. Are you climbing all the way up to floor 1?
Yes.
All right. As you get in floor 1 and you look up, all you see is darkness above you.
Basawan reach up and try to go through to darkness.
All right. As you climb on top of level 1, it is just infinite darkness around you and a concrete floor.
Basawan have pouch. Pouch have flint. Basawan strike spark.
You still just see darkness. You see farther out, it just seems to be a level floor with no end.
Basawan touch ceiling, walls.
So all you have on this top level is a floor that goes endlessly. As you reach up into the darkness, you can't see anything, and you imagine that if there is a ceiling, it is very, very far away.
Food come from somewhere.
Yeah. You jump, no matter how far you jump, you can't touch any type of ceiling. If you yell, you don't hear like an echo. In a regular room, it kind of feels muffled. This feels like a giant cavern with no end to the ceiling. At least nothing that you can see or sense.
Food comes from somewhere.
It's good logic. Amago, all things in Obscura, you're still continuing to ride down.
Mm-hmm.
You just see the faces of desperation as people are like, oh, geez, I'm on a level that I'm not ever going to get food because it's going to get eaten before it ever makes it down here. And you see some people who look very new and they ask you questions like, what is this place? What am I doing here?
You're the new people. Okay.
If you ask them how they got here, you would hear similar stories about how they were in desperate circumstances and agreed to give a day of their time in exchange for having their wish fulfilled. You don't hear of anything that's really crazy. For example, you don't hear like, oh, I have cancer and it will be healed if I do this. Or you don't hear about like people coming back from the dead or anything that's really obscure like that. It all seems to be things that could be fixed through money or connections or different things like that.
Mm. Do you think, all things, I know this is my go-to. I know this is just who I am. Do you think we could somehow unionize the rooms?
Not if.
'Cause, like, if we could get them all to agree, right? Part of the problem has to be the top rooms are taking more than they need out of desperation because they know that food is limited. But if we could find some way, right, of getting everyone to kind of agree only to take what they need, then we could get all 200 or whatever thousand, however many rooms there are, fed. Because there has to be enough food, I think. I think the
Okay.
issue is just that some people are being, I don't want to say selfish, because food hoarding is actually a very common thing, you know, and especially when you're like in dire circumstances. So I don't want to say people being selfish, people being desperate, but that desperation is affecting everyone below them.
No, I would say that the people up on top are selfish because they're able to do it. I mean, the deal here is that you have to make sure that the people up above just fulfill their needs and not take anything more.
But I guess we
And,
don't know how much food there is to start with because we were in the 40s.
Right. But if you can get if you can get everybody, I mean, there were enough plates on the damn platform that it seems like there was a plate for each person. And so, yeah.
Yeah, I want to know who took my crunch wrap.
Yeah, there was just the wrappers, dude.
I'm just going to
Yeah.
confirm this theory of everybody's favorite food is put on the platform. And so literally there is enough food for everybody.
Yeah, so could we just unionize everyone?
But see, oh God. I love
Or
your
just
idea.
like get
I love your
everyone to
idea
work
of-
together.
Right. I love your idealism. The problem is you have that you're going to have people that have come from the lower levels to the upper levels, and they are going to gorge themselves because they are not thinking, they're thinking about what
Mama.
happens if I go back to the lower levels.
Yes,
if
food
you can-
hoarding.
Right. And so if you can,
That's why we have
convince-
cockroaches at my apartment. Lizzie's very mad.
okay, I'm going to turn into a cockroach. You don't let me get a word edgewise.
Okay, I'm sorry, Al.
It's a basic needs issue. And
Mhm.
if you can convince people not to take too much, then it'll work. I don't think in this case that's going to happen.
What if we get Bassawan, who's very convincing?
So
Well,
Bassawan has alternative suggestion. Can Imago or all things turn into large flying creature, come up to first floor, above first floor, and fly out looking for, I mean, there cannot be no ceiling, no walls.
I mean, we're in a crystal though.
You hear Bassawan coming through from your watches and you're like, whoa, when did she learn how to use her watch?
Hey, Bassawan not stupid, Bassawan just not exposed to technology.
and so all things smacks his forehead, and he looks at Obscura and says, "You want to take a ride?"
I think I want to see what happens when we get to the bottom, but I'll meet y'all at the top some way, shape, or form.
By now
Oh,
it's at
okay.
about like 190.
You got that shadow thing going on, right? All right.
Also though, what if we did it through tyrannical enforcement? That's the one also has a club.
It's at 191 now.
It's a possibility. That's what I was trying to tell you. If you're going to make sure that everybody gets fed, then there's going to have to be an issue of force. So I could do that.
192.
Bassawan can do that, and so that's
Like-
possible too.
But
Yeah,
you said
can you pick the
they
kid
get,
on your way up?
193.
you said that the place got punished, the people got punished for taking food off the platform.
So you can't take the food off of the platform. It's only what you can eat while the platform is there.
And they're transported between platforms seemingly with no ability to determine it. So how is that, are those functions happening? Is what I want to know.
And I'm just assuming all of it's magical crystal bullshit.
Sure, but is it, what's the purpose, I guess? No, it
It's-
can't be just to starve people, or is it? It seems an awful lot just to prove that some people will hoard food or will eat more food than they are supposed to, right?
Well,
I mean,
yeah,
it's-
and
99.
it's the terror, you know, and he likes to play. He just likes to play tricks on people and learn how to work their minds.
Right? This is like showing that like people are like inherently selfish, even though they know what happens when they take too much food because they've been at the lower floors and they know it's just.
I
We
just-
better
I just
brace
think he-
ourselves just in case.
I
Don't y'all
just think he's trying to play with people's minds to learn how to play with them. That's all. And so getting all these folks out of here is paramount. But how is a good question.
As you enter room number 200, give me a mind roll. Mind or quick.
Is it quick? Is also an option.
How it works. Oh, yay,
Right.
finally.
I did quick.
All of you see a little boy around 5 years old. And he's standing there with his hands like this. And he says, "Food, please? Please?"
All things you can fly. Take the kid to 1 for tomorrow, please.
Okay. So let's see. How big is the hole again?
All things, you notice something else about this room. There's only one bed. And there's only one person in this room.
And it's a baby.
Amago didn't get a high enough roll. Obscura, you also notice that there is only one person in this room, and it is a little boy.
So I'm going to ask the little boy if he wants to fly with me up to higher levels, and then I'm going to watch his grin.
He says no, and he tells you that's not how this works.
So then tell me how it works.
He kind of turns his head and looks at the wall and says, "I'm so hungry." Try to roll a presence to see if you can convince him to share more.
Crap. Oh, well, maybe.
Yeah. You kind of coax him over, and he says, when I came here, I was told that I had to tell people that made it to this level something."
And that something was?
Something about making a statement. Breaking the system. I don't know, something like that.
Making the system.
You know what that means?
No, I'm just thinking we should always break the system. I'm very pro-union. We've discussed this. You're in my union, Imago.
There's
I
someone
am.
that I when I first came here, I was put in a room with him.
Hmm.
He wore really weird clothes. They were like orange, and he was in one of the top floors, and he said that it was all about making an image or an example, but nothing ever happened.
What's your favorite food?
Kit Kats.
Just
I think it's
straight Kit Kats.
He gets a big smile on his face. I love Kit Kats.
Is that what you would eat for for breakfast, lunch, and dinner? Sunday, Monday, Tuesday?
Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
Okay.
and he just starts inventing days of the week.
Thursday.
You can roll quick really fast.
Me?
Yeah.
Okay,
Roll-
I will do
Go
that
quick, really fast.
really quickly, rolling quick.
There's a Kit Kat wrapper on the platform.
Those monsters.
It's a big Kit Kat wrapper too. It's like one of those 5-pound bars of Kit Kats.
It's-
Those monsters.
He looks at the wrapper. It
Oh,
comes
I
down
see.
here
Aw.
every day, and I never get to taste it.
I think tomorrow will be your lucky day.
Do you think my
Well-
Kit Kat could be the statement?
You know, break me off a piece of that Kit Kat bar. Break the system.
The platform starts to descend. As it descends, you find that you are no longer around rooms, and you look down over the corners. It's going into darkness and oblivion. And he says, "You don't want to go down there."
I love darkness and oblivion.
Okay. All things Imago, are you going down with Obscura?
You-
many
Y'all
people
can
do-
fly. You should go up.
You sure?
Yeah, I'll figure it out. I love darkness and oblivion.
I know.
All right.
How big are the holes again?
About 15 feet by 15 feet.
Perfect. Okay. Okay, so as before the platform gets too deep, I'm going to jump out on floor 200 again, and I'm going to ask the kid if he wants me to take him to a higher level.
He
That
shakes
might
his
be
head
your-
and says, "You have to make the statement."
That might be a statement you could make.
Or the statement is we make everyone share. Sharing is caring. They teach you that in like kindergarten. That kid probably already knows that.
Okay. Then I'll see you up top, and we'll see if we can start organizing.
Unionize.
Okay.
All right, so Imago and all things, are you flying up to the top then?
Yeah, I think let's see. Bird with lift.
A lot of lift. You've got 3,000 feet to go up.
Yeah, there's no wind though, so it can't use a very big wing thing.
What about like a pigeon?
No, I'm gonna use a falcon. Yeah, I'm gonna use a falcon. So all things turns into a falcon and starts his journey up.
And I flutter after him.
Okay. After about 10 floors, because it's like straight up, so it's a lot of intensity on your wings, you start to feel really tired. Can both of you roll an endurance roll? These are those specialty skills.
Nice.
All right. So you can tether. I was going to say flutter. You continue to just fly up, fly up, fly up. You're making pretty good time. After about an hour, you've made it to about floor 100. Meanwhile, Obscura, you find yourself in total darkness, and it continues to descend and descend and descend. It's not stopping now, it's just going down.
Cool.
After about 2 hours, you find yourself, it just comes to a stop. And do you have any means, you can see in the dark, so around you, you see a platform of just a brick level. The platform is kind of levitating over it. Just stopped there.
I like look around. Do I see any person? Any
Just-
things?
Darkness in all directions. You can't even see the platform or the lights from the platform up above.
I look below. Do I just see the brick platform?
Yep, it's total brick now. There's not a hole underneath it.
Weird. Weird. Weird.
Are you staying
Well-
on the platform?
I am.
All right. Roll quick with a -8.
-8 quick?
And
Yes.
Like -8 to my modifier, so it's actually -3.
Yes. And then Imago and all things. I need you to
Ooh,
roll
that's
the
not
same
good.
thing.
That's not good. I did bad.
And you said you need us to roll what, Terry? Also,
you're continuing to fly straight up, right? Okay. Yeah, roll quick with a -8.
we're presumably spiraling since butterflies are more like that, but yes.
Okay, but you're
Minus-
staying in the
minus
middle of
8
this area, right?
yes,
-8 on quick. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Let's see. Okay, so that's -7. This is probably going to hurt.
Wow.
Okay,
It hurt evenly between all of you. What are the odds of that?
Mhm.
The platform starts ascending, but not ascending. It rockets. Like imagine a space shuttle as fast as that is taking off. And Obscura, you find yourself pinned, just laying flat down from the sheer force of it as
Ow.
it starts rushing up. Imago and all things, it hits you and you take 3 points of damage as it just catapults you into the sky.
windshields, my one weakness.
Basawan, roll brute really fast. Something is coming very, very fast, and you had like 2 seconds to do anything.
Leap on, it's coming up,
It's coming up.
leap on it.
All right, you jump down and you find yourself on the platform. It's skyrocketing like faster than the speed of sound. You're starting to all go up into just pure darkness, 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 and it is going. What do? You all have a chance to react.
Brace.
Reach out and feel physical characteristics.
You're on a platform in the middle of the air, and there is nothing. There's no like chains or anything that's pulling it up. It just seems to be levitating and flying through the air really, really fast.
If we hit something at the end, yeah, that'll definitely hurt. Basawan,
Roll mind, Imago.
okay, mind one. Cool.
If you were to hit a solid surface right now, you would be squashed like a bug hitting a car, like a car driving down a highway.
Is there something on platform Basawan can tie rope to?
No, you're on a single platform that is now in the middle of nowhere, just flying up into the sky, into this total darkness. You can see nothing.
And it's 15 feet across. Oh, Basawan has that much rope. Basawan take rope, go across platform and down sides and tie knot. Basawan gather everybody and hold on bottom of platform. So if platform go up against ceiling, we not be smashed, we be underneath platform.
Okay.
I'm gonna do shadow figure. I'm just gonna turn back into a shadow and curl into a ball.
All right. Roll quick as you do that.
Okay, just like a normal quick.
Yeah. How long have you been in the shadow figure form today?
Like, what was it like? Probably like 20 minutes.
Okay.
9.
All right. You start to feel yourself go incorporeal.
Okay.
Did you let Basilwan tie you?
Sure, but like that should like do the same thing though, because like I can't go through physical objects. I'm just right kind
Because
of.
she's tying people to the bottom. So if you go incorporeal, you would essentially fall.
No, then no, I'm staying on the top. I'm not going on the bottom.
Okay. All right. So everybody is tied on the bottom except for Obscura, who's on the top now in this ghostly form, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. As you continue to descend through the air, you see a light far off in the sky. You get closer, you get closer, you get closer. The light becomes very blinding. And then all you see is light. And then you blink and find yourselves in a bed, in a room.
Hey, fuck. How are we going to enforce our brutal regime?
Imago, you find yourself in room 38. Obscura, you are on room 173. All things, you are on room 45. And Basilwan is on room 194.
So, question. You said this darkness is like real darkness that I can use my shadow powers in.
Yeah.
Can I, since I have now seen all 200 rooms, can I like teleport to the top
Yes.
to room 1?
Yep.
So I do that immediately.
Okay. You're in room 1.
I'm gonna get that kid a Kit Kat and then figure out where to go from here.
So are the rooms set up the exact same way, just they're light now?
They are all set up the exact same way. Yes. There is not the green light yet. The elevator with the platform doesn't seem to be operational yet.
Are the So I know we moved rooms, but did everyone move rooms?
Roll mind as you try to recollect who was in room 1. Did you ever? You never
No,
traveled to room
I
1.
don't think I talked to them. I just sped by. So I'm just gonna look at them and be like, "Hey, were you guys in room 1 yesterday? Or is this new for you?"
Yeah, I was in room 1 yesterday.
Okay, let's talk about unions. What are your feelings?
I'm in room 1. I have all the food that I could want. I don't care about unions.
What happens next month when you're in room 175?
I worry about that next month when I'm in room
I
175.
worry about that now.
I've been in room 193. I was there for a month and there's only one way that I survived.
Ow.
Oh God. Was it cannibalism?
We don't talk about that.
Oh God. Have you seen Yellow Jackets? It's super good. Anyway. But think about it. If we all shared food, if we all just took our favorite meal, then we wouldn't have, and no one would have to. Everyone would have enough to eat.
I have to eat my fill now. So if I find myself in a room down there, I can survive longer.
Okay. Then we're going to have a problem.
I flutter. I start fluttering up as well, figuring that hopefully I'll be able to find the others and make my way to the top again.
Okay.
I've got an idea.
So you find yourself at room 1. All things Basilwan, what are you doing?
Well, remembering what Obscura said, I'm put on a little bit more wingage, and I start an accipiter hawk now, and I start flying up towards room 1.
Okay.
Because if we want to break the statement, want to break the system and have everybody eat, then someone's gotta enforce it.
Yeah, and Obscura is about to kill a man. So
All right. You make it to room 1, Basawan.
I'm on 194 or something.
194. That was the dice roller that determined that.
Uh-huh.
Are you also heading towards room 1?
No,
I mean, you could always be like, hey, Obscura, come and get me.
I could always come and get you, but you didn't tell me where you are.
can you lift me, Obscura? Can you bring me up?
I mean, I don't have to lift you. It's like
They poof.
we poof.
Oh,
We poof through a realm that, again, if you spend too much time in, people will forget you exist. But we poof.
great. Pick me up and take me up to room 1, please.
Okay.
And
Obscura does that.
Calls your name, it all fades to black.
poof.
Poof.
So you all are in room 1 now. And there are several people there that look very concerned.
Yeah, so now it's not an option. You get 1 meal. Or you get nothing.
And you're just going to do this every day.
I'm going to try it once and then I'll redecide.
I also have an idea though.
I mean, I'm open to anything.
So Basawan, did you get any sense of anything that wasn't infinite around here?
The senses that I tried included feeling the walls, and they supposedly extended infinitely in every direction. Just bricks, thousands of bricks thick. And I tried feeling the space from above room 1, and I felt in every direction and could not feel an end, as I recall. He said there was no height, no walls, no. It was infinite.
Let me make a suggestion. All Things pulls out the Poseidon of Neptune and pops it to its full size. If we have Basawan and myself in the middle, that'll have us within reach of the edge of the platform. Obscura and Imago, you would be responsible for handing out plates to the people. What's your favorite food? That's what you get. And we'll see you in 24 hours.
Mhm.
And let's see if it works.
Yeah, I think we try it once, right? Like, if it doesn't work, we can allow people to go back to being terrible to each other. But I think if we try it once, we make sure that kid gets his Kit Kat.
Yep.
I want my Crunch Wrap. Thank you very much.
So do you think that is what we're all here for, is to see if people can figure out a system of distribution? Was that the experiment?
I don't know, but right, that's like all the terror's whole thing is showing how terrible people are, right? That was kind of the whole experiment when we were in the gem with, like, you all get to fight and argue and see who lives and who dies.
Right.
Okay.
So I think if we at least try to do the decent thing once, and maybe albeit through a little bit of force, which I'm not as huge of a fan of, I would just like everyone to be a genuinely kind soul who does what's best for others because they understand the circumstances they have been in. But, sometimes you gotta punch a bitch.
And we should probably see if we can find any weak points in this whole place. I considered what might happen if on the way up, I unleashed my sting at full power and tried drilling through 200 floors worth of bioelectric energy. Basawan can put out probably at least as much of that damage if we can find some space, some weak point to focus all that on. But I agree, trying to play the game right and encourage people's good nature does make the most sense first.
I mean, this is the terror. This is all in our minds right now. And so that's how it can show infinite walls and floors and ceilings.
Or in a crystal.
Yeah. So I don't know, let's give it a shot. That's all I can say. Just make sure you clear some spaces, stack some dishes up and clear some spaces. And hopefully we'll be able to figure out a system for getting people what their favorite is before we disappear below the floor.
If not, I say if we can't figure it out fast enough, 1 plate per person.
Okay.
Right? It doesn't have to be their favorite food. It should be food.
Food, period. Okay.
They should be
Except
able
for that child gets a Kit Kat.
they should be able to hear my voice for several levels before we get there.
Wait, do we
I
want
know.
to send Imago ahead of time and then Imago has the orders?
There you go.
Okay.
Works for me.
Will you be
So,
able
like-
to? All
Go
right.
ahead, Al.
No, you'll have to be able to find the food in. If you can, if you're able to find the food, then I'd say yes.
Organized
mean-
food, meat, cheeses, seafood, vegetables, fruit.
Will we have time?
I mean, we'll get faster as things go down and there's less and less food. If we like make an area for like plates and something and we just throw the plates down and we ignore them. I was a waitress for like 4 months before I got fired because my attitude was bad.
Really?
So yeah. Shocking, right?
Okay.
Right.
So each person tell me what your role is going to be in this.
My role is going to be looking stern and scary and keeping people off two adjacent sides of the platform as they try and rush the platform.
And that's through physical force.
I got a trident, so
Okay.
that will be able to reach out to the edge.
So you have 3 people who try you as you go down. Can you roll brute 3 times with your trident? Beautiful. All right, Baswan, what's your role in all of this?
Able to quickly hand out plates and stand on opposite diagonal from all things to keep the peace. Have long stake, long stick, trusty stick to keep people from rushing center.
Okay, so give me 1 quick roll, because in the beginning you're looking for food really quickly, and 1 brute as you try to keep people off, and then 1 mind.
Ah! Oh, shit. Sorry. I had it set up to copy and paste and it stopped doing it.
Bless you.
Thank you. Excellent.
I'm gonna roll poorly.
Why mind?
Yep, one mind.
Why?
So you are initially looking for food really well, and then you are keeping people off. And then as you get farther down, it's not looking quickly because you know where all of the food is. It's just recalling where it is on the platform.
Okay. Oh, well, phew.
And you do that all very well. Obscura.
Yeah, you know I'm your server supreme. Just grabbing food fast.
So you're
and
just
moving
handing
it.
out the plates.
Yep.
All right.
Also,
Three
just
quicks.
looking for it, but I'm not trying to memorize anything. I'm just trying to move fast.
Okay. 3 quick rolls then.
I'm gonna be the one who rolls poorly.
Everybody, like Steve got double sixes.
Sorry, Terry, what else did you need?
Obscura plays her role too. Amago, it's up to you.
Good job.
All right, so is my part in this buzzing down and getting people's orders and stuff?
Yep.
So I'm guessing that's presence, which I'm okay at, but not great or even good. Yeah. So
3
let's
presents.
do this.
I believe
Three of
in
them?
you.
They're gonna get
Alright.
they're gonna get something regardless of whether they get what they want.
Except for nobody will get a Kit Kat but that kid in 200. I'm holding it. None of those are that
Okay.
bad.
No,
Not bad.
a few people don't get what they want. And they have sour faces, but you get on at level 1. You hand everybody their food. Basawan is standing there with her staff, and she's like, "You get this, or you get this." Obscura is just like, it's the food's being called out, and she's just like, poof, and it comes out of a shadow and appears over there in their hand, or in the corner over in the side of their room, and people are just running over there. Sometimes she puts the food under their bed, and it detours them away from the platform so that you don't have to worry about them jumping on or doing anything.
Well done.
All things, you are amazing with what you're doing, and you're passing things out. You look very formidable as well with this trident, and a couple of people do try their luck, but with the blunt end of the trident, you manage to keep them away. And then they very neatly get food set on the side where they run over and scamper and eat it really fast. You make it to the 200th floor, and the little boy is standing there with his hands like this.
Give him a Kit Kat.
He opens that Kit Kat and he just starts shoveling it in his mouth.
And then I eat my Crunchwrap Supreme.
By this point, it's cold,
Oh,
but it still probably is the best food that you've ever had in your life.
God.
It starts to descend past level 200. What do you do?
There's just like a brick floor, and then you kind of go fling back up. So it's really up to you guys. Do we want to go somewhere, or I can like drop us off somewhere?
Do we try and see what happens again? Bring us back up to room
Do
1?
you want to? Do you want us to ride all the way up back? Do you want me to take you back to room 1, or do you want to go all the way back? The fun way.
I don't
As you
particularly
start to
care.
descend, the kid says, "I think you've done it."
Have we? Should we stay? I don't know what to do, kid. What is you're 5? What's your opinion?
He steps on the platform with you and starts to go down.
Oh, yay.
Yeah, then he starts to grin and I'm going, oh shit.
He does have a smile on his face, but he's also
Like a
eating the Kit Kat.
weird Like
Yeah.
a weird smile, like a terror smile.
Roll presence.
Oh, Jesus.
I don't trust anyone.
As well, you
Everybody-
shouldn't at this point.
Got a
Everyone's rolling?
5.
He looks really normal to you.
Okay, normal kid. So what does that mean though if we've done it? Do we like succeed? Do we get to go home now?
Guess we'll find out.
All right, you're going all the way to the bottom and going forcibly to the top.
Yep.
Well, I'm laying down. I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna.
I'm going incorporeal and laying down.
It starts to go down and then it catapults towards the ceiling incredibly fast, incredibly fast. As you're about to go into the white light, everybody roll quick.
Those are good.
Everybody sees it. The child has a big smile across his face. You go into the light. Everything is so bright. And then you're back in the Hilton. And around you is all the rest of the 200 rooms worth of people.
Oh, cool.
Minus the one who got eaten.
I think they refilled.
The crystal, if you look at it, all of the black stuff that was floating around in it has just sunk to the bottom.
Well, we did it.
So all things called Zaha headquarters and tries to get some, tells them to send some buses and folks to help these people process what they've been through, and starts herding them out of the ballroom.
I thought we should keep them in. I guess the crystals here. We probably should.
Okay. Aha is quick to respond. Kel even shows up himself, and he's help orchestrating where people are going. It's like everybody forms in a line and they walk up to him. He seems to look at them, squint a little bit, and then he points a direction. So people are like sent in different places. And Basawan, you recognize a few people that show up as well. They're scientists that work in the research and development area, and they have a device that kind of encapsulates the crystal so that nobody has to touch it, but they can safely move it. And they ask you tons and tons of questions about the crystal and what did it feel like and how long were you in there? How long were you truly in there? Because remember, in the crystal, you would have been in there for 2 days based off of having 2 meals.
Right.
But in actuality, you were only in there for about an hour in real life. And they explain that these crystals are putting you in a different time and space. You ask them about like why you couldn't reach out and touch things. And Amago, if you're around, you've kind of already touched on this, that the crystals allow the terror to create his own universe or a little world, if that makes sense. All things, can you roll a quick or a mind, whatever you want? You find a DVD case, and on it, it's titled The Horrors of Humanity. And it has a picture of one of the rooms.
All things shows the DVD to his colleagues there.
Oh yeah, propaganda, terror propaganda.
And then he goes, I guess he's gonna go ahead and give it to the scientist because he doesn't want it.
Who has a really good presence?
Pasawan, she's her face.
Besawan, you have recently learned about like Netflix and Hulu and things. So go ahead and roll a presence. Because you're a socialite now. You know all the latest trends.
He's an
You've watched
influencer.
Harry Potter.
I watched Harry Potter.
He's an influencer.
You look at your new cell phone and there are like 20 different notifications from people that you've randomly connected with on social media. You don't actually know them in real life. You just hit add friend accidentally. And they're all talking about these new shows about the horrors of humanity.
Are we in it, you think?
I don't think it matters. I think what matters is trying to
But like, are we, but like, let's say you're trying,
trying.
does it paint us, like if it paints heroes badly, that's not good.
Yeah.
Can I look at my phone? Have I gotten any texts from people being like, Obscura, I saw you in this weird reality, or Sarah, I saw you in this weird reality show?
You have not, but if you want to look up like the web page or things like that, do you want to do that?
Yeah, I do. Do I get
Okay.
credited on IMDb?
You do not, but Baswan does.
Whoa.
Besawan did use her real name.
Nice.
That's fair. And Sarah didn't get accepted, so it makes sense.
So all things, you have CDs, is that what he said?
DVD, a DVD.
DVD.
Yeah.
Okay, and have you looked at them?
I can't see it. It's just a DVD. It's just a DVD. I would say on the back maybe that it shows some of the scenes, but
Yeah.
Somebody.
If you watch the DVD, it's going to match whatever is on like Netflix and Hulu and different things like that.
Yeah. Do we want to have like a friend movie night where we all just like watch this terrible show that's definitely propaganda together? I have Netflix. I have a house. I don't know if anyone else has like a really cool layer that maybe has like Netflix access.
Bassawan has cool cave, but you know,
Do you have Netflix?
I'm up for a movie night.
Do we want
See
to
what all
watch?
the buzz is about.
See what all the buzz is about?
Yeah, okay. That's his first pun of the night, so he gets that one.
I feel like it might just be the first one we caught. Like he's trying to be a real fly on the wall about it, you know?
So funny.
Bassawan smash.
So if you watch this movie, this series, it follows different people in their rooms. A lot of times the people that it follows don't actually make it. From one means or another. In one really funny part of the movie, it's like they selectively videotaped Bassawan on the platform smashing somebody who was trying to steal food. But of course, they didn't present it in that way. It just looks like Bassawan is fighting to keep the food for herself. But other than that, none of you really appear in it.
Because it couldn't make us look bad.
Well, yeah, because they're
Because we were-
portraying Bassawan badly.
No, because we were pro-union. Though they could have done me like sucking the soul out of that one woman.
That's true. They could have.
Which I definitely didn't do. And it is not definitely not a thing I can do.
So you really want to watch this? You want to give this up to the folks above our pay grade?
No, it's on Netflix. We can give the DVDs to the folks, but like we can
Okay.
just go watch it on. Like Lizzie's already texting me, have you watched The Horrors of Humanity? I heard there's cannibalism. That's just like Yellow Jackets.
Okay, so I'm gonna pass off this DVD to Kale.
Look,
Okay.
Yellow Jackets, surprisingly little cannibalism in the first season.
Of course, the boy from the 200 floor is nowhere to be found. I imagine you would try to look for him.
Of course.
Of course.
Actually, Meaning.
with that grin, yeah.
I'm sure he's gone.
All right. Anything else anybody would like to do?
Not really. I think we've done for all things no. We
Okay.
finished the mission. We got the people out. We got a little bit of weird exposure through that video, but that's out of our hands right now. So pass it on to somebody else.
So Basawan, good poet. Not good words, but good ideas. Get help from Imago. Do TikTok defending honor. Put on social media defending honor from movie.
You could put it on my AHA recruitment TikTok.
Yes. That
Excellent.
too.
Within one day of Basawan's TikTok, she gets 88,000 followers.
I'm glad we put it on my TikTok.
Famous.
A large number of those comments are, "We want to see you smash something."
Gross. I did. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, the only thing I was going to suggest was trying to use my antenna sensors to pick up any trail of where the terror might have gone from the hotel before we leave the hotel room.
That is legit. Go ahead and roll soul with a -5 because there's just so much chaos.
Right. Okay. Here goes. So that's an 8.
So you're able to follow his almost like magic aura out into the street, and it starts to head downtown towards the subway. As you get near the subway, you kind of lose the scent of him, but it does seem to go down into the subway.
Does he pop
Oh,
out
at least-
near
Mm.
So thinking he might come back up on top, but not exactly sure. All things finds a tree that's planted in the ground and sticks his fingers into the ground and tries to put out a sensory net on Manhattan Island to look for terror popping back up again.
How long do you watch for?
30 minutes or so.
Okay. You don't see him pop out anywhere.
Mm.
When you're looking, what form are you looking for to?
Right now, all I'm looking for is I'm scanning all the different spectra, light spectra, to see if I get some kind of image in any one of the. I won't see him invisible probably, but I might see him in UV or IR.
Okay. Yeah, you don't see anybody.
Okay. I rolled a conviction roll for Obscura. She got a 6. So she pulls out her phone and texts and says, for some weird reason, I'm really craving Taco Bell right now.
Oh my gosh.
I was like, is she going to do it? I was like, I'll roll for it. If she fails her conviction roll, she's a weak 19-year-old girl.
7 p.m. I'll buy my treat.
Not impressive is her response. It's Taco Bell.
And with that, the episode fades to black and the credits start to play.
And Basawan goes next door to abandoned building and smash abandoned building
I put that on TikTok.
to please fans.
Recruitment's gonna get really popular, which is great because it's what I'm using to recruit people somewhat is TikTok and Instagram.
We probably should have checked who owned that building, but I'm definitely okay with filming
Oh, that's
Bashalon
fun.
doing it.
It said demolition company taking building down tomorrow. Basawan help.
All right. So that's game.
Oh my God,
Uh,
I can-
Thank you everyone for watching. And with that,